Welcome, everybody. It is September 8th, 2018 at 6:33 p.m. We're here for a regular business meeting of the Laramie City Council. First item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you please rise and join me?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
City Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Gabriel.
Here.
Hanson.
Here.
McKinney.
Here.
Palikas.
Here.
Shumway.
Here.
Schuster.
Here.
Stoner.
Here.
Pierce.
Here.
Somerville.
Here.
That's 9 present and 0 absent, Your Honor.
Thank you. We have no proclamations or presentations, no public hearings. City Manager, do we have any announcements tonight?
No staff announcements, Mayor.
Okay. I have one quick announcement. That's just a reading of a very old ordinance for our 150th year. This one is about peddling milk in the city. No person shall carry on or engage in the business of selling or peddling milk from any dairy within the limits of the city of Laramie until they have first obtained a license. You have to list your ranch, where the milk dairy is, the name of the owner, and a lot of stuff. Any person violating or selling milk within the city without a license shall be fined not less than $5, nor more than $100. Anybody ask Safeway or Ridley's if they have a license? All right, on to number 5, disclosures by city council members. Does anybody have any disclosures tonight? Seeing none, consideration of changes to the agenda. Vice Mayor.
Yeah, I move that the following changes to the agenda be approved. We have 2 changes tonight. The first one is on our consent agenda. It's item 8F. We are going to add to the motion to include UW. Our second change is also on the consent agenda. It's item 8G. We are adding a number 6. It will be for September 25th at 6 o'clock. We will be getting an update from UW's president, President Nichols, and we are deleting Feeding Laramie Valley from that work session.
To be rescheduled later.
To be rescheduled later.
Second.
Second by Councilor Shumway. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Vice Mayor.
I move that the agenda be set as changed.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Gabriel. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? That motion carries. Vice Mayor.
Okay, I move that the consent agenda be approved and that each specific action on the consent agenda be approved as indicated.
Do you have a second?
Second.
Second by Councilor Gabriel. City Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
Gabriel.
Yes.
Hanson.
Yes.
McKinney.
Yes.
Palikas.
Yes.
Shumway.
Yes.
Schuster.
Yes.
Stoner.
Yes.
Pierce.
Yes.
Somerville.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
Thank you. That motion carries. On to the regular agenda. Councilor McKinney.
I move to approve Resolution 2018-61 to request review of pedestrian safety concerns on both Snowy Range Road and 3rd Street and authorize the mayor and clerk to sign.
Second.
Second by the Vice Mayor. Councilor McKinney, would you like to explain a little bit about the resolution?
The reason why I'm trying to get this brought forward is because I have several children in West Laramie that cross at Shell Station going to school to the crosswalk zone on 130 or going to Johnson Street to be able to cross over, and there is no crosswalk. There's no crosswalk. We have traffic coming in at 60 miles an hour, and there's nowhere for them to cross appropriately. Over on 3rd Street, which was 3rd and Clark, we tore that all down. I think we need a little bit better pedestrian zoning, and then I would also like to see if we could get a hold of YDOT and maybe possibly get the signs moved back on Snowy Range 2 to get people to slow down coming into town.
Any questions for Councilor McKinney? Councilor Hanson.
Just a question that these are both state roads, aren't
Yep.
they? So
We have to go to YDOT.
when you say request review, that will have to be done by YDOT, correct?
Yep, we have to go to YDOT with it, yes.
Thank you.
Councilor Schuster.
In all estimation, looking out there, and I've seen how people drive on that coming out of that 45 section, jumping into West Laramie, do you feel that there should be more than one spot?
I actually think that they
Crosswalk.
should be 3.
Okay, so
We have-
we
we
should
already
probably
have
come
one.
up with 3 locations then.
Well, we have the crosswalk at the light.
Yeah.
At Colorado. Then we should put one right there at the Shell station at the 4-way. And then one at Johnson that goes directly straight across, because the kids come out of like BYB and Blake's, and they come straight down and they go straight across Johnson over into the school zone.
Do you think a strobe flashing light like what they put at 9th and Lewis would be a good resolution to it? Or they also have the signs on Grand Avenue with the double red lights? Which one do you
The
feel?
major issue that I have is that, one, you have a corner. Nobody can see around the corner, doesn't matter whether you put the light there or not. They're not gonna see it until they come around the corner. If we don't slow the traffic down, the light's not gonna do us any good. I don't know that anybody's ever been hurt, but I watched my own children try to cross that, and they're scared to death to cross that thing. This year was the first year of them riding their bikes.
I just
And
wondered if you had a preference between signs. I think
I'd prefer
probably
lights.
the one on 3rd and the one on Grand Avenue with the large red lights, I think probably is more noticeable by a driver.
From coming from the east direction, yes, but coming from the west direction, I don't know that that would be any better, because there's still a corner. You still can't see. If you had that right there at the Shell station at the 4-way, they wouldn't be able to see it anyway till they were around the corner. I
Understand
think,
what you're saying.
yeah,
You think we should move it
the
down a
whole.
block?
If it was a straight street, I would say just the normal orange or yellow flashing. But because of the intersection, the one at the Shell station definitely probably be the red flashing like what you have. The other one, a push button, because the traffic, they absolutely don't stop.
A long time ago on Grand Avenue, we used to have a flashing school zone. And I'm probably at the Catholic school, I'm probably talking 15, 20 years ago, that they actually slowed them down to 20. I wonder if the state would consider something like that again, because that was on Grand Avenue.
Right.
So-
It's a matter of whether
I guess
anybody's
it's
going
3rd
to hear
Street
to
would be
that.
Grand, a bit 3rd.
24th and Grand for Thayer. They're long time.
Hold on. So before, does anybody else have any questions for Counselor McKinney? Okay. Is there any comments from the public on this item?
Okay, I don't know whether I'm this or I'm me, but as a former teacher, I feel very strongly about the safety of our kiddos
Yes.
as they go to school. And I think that your concerns are quite justified. And I do not know what YDOT will say and do about it, but I think that your concerns in West Laramie are quite legitimate. And I actually think, watching the traffic, people trying to make turns in and out of Safeway, making left-hand turns going north on 3rd from Safeway, or even turning right on 3rd at Safeway is becoming quite a challenge. And I don't know that there have been any accidents yet, but it won't surprise me if there aren't some in the near future. So I think that the concerns are justified. And what there should be, I don't have a suggestion or a solution. But
Thank you
years
very
ago,
much.
years ago, there was a flasher at, for the Thayer kids when they came from student housing across, and then it all got changed.
Dance around. Thank you very much. Are there any other comments from council on this item? Counselor Palikas?
We do have a traffic, we do have a traffic board that all of, other than the YDOT considerations, all of these type of considerations are vented through them and then coming to us. I'm wondering why we haven't followed that protocol like we have on everything else.
So, Counselor Palikas?
Traffic Commission.
I can, the way that that I drafted the resolution, working with Counselor McKinney, because these are YDOT roads, they are solely under the discretion of YDOT. All we have the ability to do is ask.
And
Please review these areas. They're in charge of everything. Those
You know,
don't go through traffic.
so my comment would be, I can go along with that, but, you know, I get really uncomfortable when we try to become traffic experts, we try to become pedestrian experts. We don't have any statistics, we don't have any background, we don't have any education in it. Just because I'm sitting at this podium doesn't mean I'm smart on those issues.
Much for that.
Did you second that?
Zinga.
Basically.
But that's the only thing I'm uncomfortable with, is we just, I'd rather see other people. I'm uncomfortable with the process we're doing, but the bottom line is from my feeling, is asking YDOT to take a look at this, and there has been some concerns in the community, and we're pushing that, we're moving that onto YDOT. What I don't want to see is us recommending it, because I don't think we have the expertise to have an understanding of all the different elements that go into these decisions, if you will. So
Councilor,
asking him to review it, I'm perfectly fine with, and I'll vote yes.
so Councilor Palikas, the resolving section specifically says to request YDOT evaluate these areas for pedestrian safety in partnership with the City of Laramie staff as directed by the city manager.
Thank you.
That's all it says, so. Councilor McKinney?
And I would like to add, I've been at my residence for 6 years. I have 10 kids that live and were raised out in Wage Trailer Park and starting to walk to school every day. I watch them dodge cars coming down the highway. I watch them dodge rocks from the tires of the cars going by them at 60+ miles an hour. And I know eventually we're going to expand out there sometime in the future, but I mean, for now, to keep those kids safe, I mean, I'd like to see those guys slow down, because the first time we have an accident or some kid gets killed on the side of the road, it's not going to be nice, it's not going to be pretty, and it's going to be a nightmare. If we get them slowed down, we get some more school zones put in there. We're just asking them. I've gone out and talked to them. I asked them I was like, hey, who do I talk to? Where do I go? You know what they told me? We won't change anything, so don't even try. That's what they told me. So I'm trying to get some help from the city council to try and talk to them better and have a better conversation with them to keep the kids safe. I mean, they should be entitled to be safe walking down their city streets, because it is a city street once they hit my driveway.
Councilor Hanson and
Thank you.
Councilor Schuster.
For clarity's sake, can I suggest that we change the title of the motion to read Resolution 2018-61 to request that YDOT review the pedestrian safety concerns, because right now it doesn't say that, and I think it would be clear they need to do that. Okay, it's just for clarity's sake that we add the words to request that YDOT review the pedestrian safety concerns, etc.
Vice Mayor?
So I wonder,
Hold on a second, I'm sorry. Councilor Schuster was first. My bad.
I wonder if we're attacking this the wrong direction. The intersection at Highway 130, 230 is a busy enough intersection. Do you think we could request a full stoplight there? Because I think that intersection would easily have the car count to do something like that. And then you would have your walk buttons for both directions. Even if somebody's coming in off 130, they stop the stop sign, they look for cars and then cut out. So I think if we would try to achieve this as maybe a stoplight at that intersection, I think we probably would do a lot more good than some of the other ideas.
But isn't that,
Sorry, Vice Mayor?
so just to get back to Councilor Hanson's comment, the title of the resolution may not necessarily be the title of the actual motion, but the title of the resolution says, resolve to request review of pedestrian safety concerns on both Snowy Range Road and 3rd Street. So in the actual resolution, I think it achieves what you would like it to achieve. So I'm just wondering if you are okay with that.
But we have no authority to review it.
This is the resolution to YDOT, asking them to review.
Counselor Hanson, if you'll go in the resolution on section 1, which is the resolve, which actually speaks to what we're asking to be done.
What are we looking at? I'm looking at the agenda item resolution.
Do you have the actual resolution pulled up?
If you go to the second one,
The second one, let me
and it
see.
says actual Y dot right in the
Oh,
title.
yeah, it does.
You go down to the section
Yeah,
1,
yeah,
the
yeah,
resolves.
To request why not reevaluate. Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
I think it achieves, but
What you're going for.
Yeah.
It is to be clear, it is a request to write out, why not to
Yeah.
review the areas. Counselor McKinney?
I don't see any problem with the light, but the one thing that I would have a concern about, that they would probably have the biggest concern is, if, because of the way the corner is designed at the old laundromat, because it's such a short distance, I don't know that they would even approve putting in a push button light, because you can't see it from the highway coming in at 60 miles an hour. That's the whole problem.
Sounds like you need more law enforcement out there.
Okay. So for the sake of discussion, and us being traffic engineers, to be clear, the resolution asks YDOT to look at the pedestrian concerns. I'm sure they'll go through everything, and if we have specific ideas or suggestions, might I suggest they go through the city manager's office so that she can get them to staff? And that would be the appropriate way to do that. All right, is there any other comments or discussion on this resolution? Vice Mayor?
YDOT has traffic engineers.
Fair enough. City Clerk, can you do roll call, please?
McKinney,
Yes.
Hanson,
Yes.
Shumway,
Yes.
Gabriel,
Yes.
Velikis,
Yes.
Schuster,
Yes.
Stoner,
Yes.
Pierce,
Yes.
Somerville.
Yes.
That's 9 yeses and 0 nos, Your Honor.
Thank you, that motion carries. On to item number 11, which is public comment on non-agenda items. Do we have anybody that wants to make public comment tonight? Okay. So if you can state your name for the record, there's a 5-minute time limit, and when you're done, if you could sign in on the sheet that's on the media table, that would be great. Thank you.
My name is Roxy Hensley, and I've been here before. It's a Tuesday after a football game at UW. I was here a couple weeks ago on my application, couple applications for a special malt beverage permit for, per your ordinance, for service of beer, malt beverages at the University of Wyoming Stadium as well as the University of Wyoming Auditorium Arena. And just for a little bit of clarification, I'm not here to talk about the football stadium. I'm here to speak about the arena auditorium. The subject came up about having a monopoly. I just want to make it clear in my permit that we applied for, we had excluded some certain areas of the arena auditorium so that we would not have that monopoly. And in my mind, that is an issue or in a contract between the university and my businesses. So I'm here tonight to ask for a reconsideration of that vote for us to be able to provide service for malt beverages in the arena auditorium. The license, or the permit, I'm going to say, is issued May to May. So I would not be asking for that actual malt beverage, special malt beverage permit until November when basketball starts. And I have no intention of using that past the basketball season at the end of March, the first part of April, if they do get into any NIT or postseason play. So I would if I'm given that permit after the basketball season, I would provide it back to the city so that other people who wanted to do an event at the university per their permission would be able to have that permit at their disposal.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that would like to make public comment this evening? Okay, seeing none. Item number 12, consideration of future council work session topics. Does anybody have any requests?
I have not had, Fourth and Clark did not appear on these yet. I don't know if it's just not been updated in the last 2 weeks or what, but Fourth and Clark did not appear on there.
Counselor Schuster, I believe it's the, oh, no, that's right. The city manager or city clerk? Go ahead.
We added it under the right-of-way standard, safety standards.
Oh, okay.
That was the discussion we had with the city manager. We would put it under an umbrella topic, and that would be one of the examples that we use.
Okay. Counselor Gabriel.
Thank you, Mayor. I was just wondering if anything had been discussed recently about a bike path, walking path from the rec center to the high school. I know we've talked about some of those issues, but every day I drive out there and I see that narrow sidewalk from the rec center, people walking and people riding their bicycles, and it's just not a good situation. So I was just wondering if there's anything in the works to maybe start looking at implementing some kind of bike trail from the rec center to the high school. I don't know if that's appropriate for a work session or not, but I was just kind of wondering if there's any update on.
So is the question whether we should have a work session to talk about the issue or whether staff already has something in progress?
Exactly, yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I just provide an update to the council then?
Yes, please.
Okay, I can do it verbally just quickly now, or I can send you some written information in the
Verbally.
next few days.
I think
the
verbal's
short answer is yes, we're aware of it, we're mindful of it. The sidewalk was installed along Boulder Drive, but certainly it's in our plans to have a bigger sidewalk, and it's tied in with the design element for the stormwater there. But I can get you some more technical feedback in coming days, okay?
Okay,
Thank you so much. All right, item number 13.
Your Honor,
Counselor Hanson?
in this connection, if something is under consideration there, I think we should be leery to have the sidewalk on the same, or the bike path on the same side as both those units are, not so that people don't have to, on bikes, cross the street to ride a bike path on the other side. Similar to what we have at South 287, there's a bike path on one side of the road. So that would be my suggestion, if this is at all being considered, to keep it on the same side to avoid people crossing a heavily car-traveled road. Okay,
Thank you. Item number 13, sorry, Vice Mayor?
So, maybe it could fit into the right-of-way safety standards if we're going to talk about Fourth and Cedar. But with the new Harney Street Bridge, it seems to me that the light synchronization between 3rd and 4th, and then once you get to 15th on Harney, is making it pretty darn difficult to cross Harney at certain sections because of when the traffic goes, well, and 9th, probably goes from 9th to 15th. And I don't know if it's just because there's heavier traffic now using that road, and it might very well be too soon to even think about that until people start getting their patterns down. I don't know, but it's crazy at certain times. And I don't know if it fits or not, but.
Do you want to talk about it in a work session, or do you want to just
I mean, it
give that
can,
direction to staff right now, or just
it can
to
truly,
have that question?
again, it's a whole traffic thing. I'm not an expert, and I don't know how long you have to wait, but it's pretty screwy for whatever it's worth.
We can touch
I
on
can
that.
get an update.
Thank you. All right, item number 13. Counselor Hanson.
I move that council adjourn to executive session regarding personnel, according to paragraph, Wyoming statute paragraph 16-4-405A, Roman numeral 10, and litigation, according to Wyoming statute paragraph 16.-4-405A, Roman numeral 3.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second by Counselor Gabriel. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are adjourned to executive session for personnel and litigation.